everybody, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching today. So I'm back with another handbag gift bag tutorial, and today's inspiration is come from this one here. I really like this detail. I like the hardware, like the circles, and I like the way it kind of sits over the back and over the front. So that's what I'm going to try and make. So let's get into the tutorial. So the paper powder I'm using today is this one. You've seen me use this before on other gift bags. I made one for Mother's Day using this paper, and if I can find any others, I'll link them. This is the design pad. It's Vintage Dreams. It's by Craft Sensations. I picked this one up for £3, I believe, from the range. Again, if I can find any links to it, I will share them below. But it's really nice because I like how you have the wood tone with then the navy and the white. So I've already chosen the papers that I'm going to use. So first of all, we'll make the bag. The bag itself, the base of it's really easy. It's more of a slim line. I like to have a real variety of bag shapes and sizes on the channel, and I have a huge playlist of gift bags. So if you're new to the channel and you like making gift bags, I do have a lot on the on my channel on that playlist. So again, I'll link that up here so you can have a look. So you're going to want two pieces of 12 by 10. Along the 12-inch side, you want to score at 1/2 inch and 2.5. Turn that around, so that's all at the bottom what you just scored, and then you're going to score at 8 inches. And do that on both pieces. And then you want to fold and burnish your score lines, and do that on both pieces. And then you're going to cut, so I've got my 1/2 inch tab on the left hand side. You're going to cut up that score line up to the first one there, and then you'll have this one on the corner, which will just have a thinner rectangle. When you remove, just cut along that side there, just so you cut that away so you can see the fold there. And then just take a little wedge off of each corner there, like so. So just do that on both pieces. Now, remembered you need to put another score line in just to squeeze the side. So where you scored along the 12-inch side, where you scored at 1/2 inch and 2.5, you also want to score at 1.5. About, I'm going to score down to 7 inches. Okay, nearly all the way down, but not quite. And now that one, so where you folded these two, that one that you've just scored will become a valley fold, and it will be the top of the bag where we can pinch it in. Okay, so you'll have your two pieces. I want to get this together first before I move on to the detail. So you're going to pop some glue along the 1/2 inch tab, and you're going to attach that to the other one. So just spend a minute making sure your base score lines all meet up. As I always say, get the base lined up. If the top's a little bit higher or a bit shorter or not quite right, you can always trim it. But if the base is out, then your bag's going to be a bit wonky. Okay, and then I'm going to flip it over and just fold over this side where you've got your other tab. Again, add your glue. And then just pop that under and just lay that over the top. Now, if you like to make your gift bags and then store them away, don't stick the base down, which is what I'm going to do next, because you can see now you can store that away. Even when we attach the top part, you'll be able to store that away until you need it. So just make sure that that's all stuck down. So now we want to stick down the base. I've got an extra score line here because I was just playing around, and that's where I just scored wrong. This is going to be the back, so I'm going to lay that one down first, and then I'm going to pop the two sides over the top, and then I'm going to lay down the front one. So I'm just going to add my glue onto one of those and just tack it there for a minute. It might pop back up, but it's fine. And then again, pop some glue on this one, like so. And then I'm going to put glue on all of this section. If you want to reinforce this, if you've got something a bit heavy in it, I think this is a nice size bag and width for a book. So if it is something a bit heavier, you could pop another piece of cardstock in between this now before you glue this bit down. Make sure it's nice and square. You've got your right angles there, and then just stick that down. And then if you grab a ruler, you can go in there and just make sure that's all stuck down. Okay, so now you'll have something like this. So you can leave that to one side. Now we're going to work on the top of the bag. So you want to cut yourself one piece of 5.5 by 9.5 and one piece of 4 by 9.5. The larger piece, first of all, you want to score at 1.5 and 8 inches just down to 1.5. So here's my 1.5 on the side here. If you don't have markings on the side, pop a ruler there or a ruler here and just score down to 1.5. And again, at 8 inches, score down to 1.5. Pop it then on this side and just hover your stylus at the 1.5 marker until you join up with that line and then score. So you're scoring in between those two score lines. Try and keep it nice and neat because we're gonna cut all this away now. Now before you do that, you may want to pop this piece behind and score both at the same time so you get an impression, but you basically want to score that piece the same. So I scored at 1.5 and 8 and I've come down 1.5, again come down 1.5 and then join that up, and you can see there. You then also want to score along the short side at 2 and 2.5 all the way down. So if I just hold that there when it catches the light, you can see what I've done. Next you're going to cut away, you do this on the other piece as well, but you're going to cut down these two score lines and you're going to cut this whole piece away. I've already rounded off the corners, you'll see. You don't have to do that, so don't worry if you don't have one. But you want to get this as straight as possible because you're going to be sticking this to the other one. Okay, so you'll have two pieces like this. Now before we stick it together, I have got this piece which is going to be a matte layer on here. I've scored through it, it's just purely decorative. This might be a pattern piece of paper if you want. This is a piece of 9.25 by 5.25, and along the 9.25 side I'm going to score at 1 1/8 down to 1.5 and at 8 1/8 down to 1.5. And I have a score line connecting that, but because I've done score lines all the way through, but you just now want to connect up just like you did for those. And then I'm going to cut that piece away. But I just liked this decorative effect of just scoring every single, on all the tracks, all the way across that piece to give you that effect. But you might have a large embossing folder that you want to use. But I'm now going to cut this out. And then I'm going to stick this on top of that other piece. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to take a little bit more of this off. I think I must have been out with my scoring. I'm going to score at 1 3/8, which is where I had a score line. So I must have, that's what I wanted to do. Again, just down so it's in line with that one. And I'm just going to trim that away because there's too much of a border on that side and it would just bug me. So I'm just gonna, and I'll do it on the other piece as well. You don't have to. You might be happy with yours like that. I mean, it isn't something no one's really going to notice, but, and then I can just round that off. Like so. Okay, so now you want to get this smaller piece and you want to run glue along that section there, just within that 1/2 inch section. And you're going to stick this on the back so that the top of this section, or the top of the bit where you've added the glue, runs with the top of the bag. So you just want to stick it right up. So this top score line is a hinge so that we can open the lid, and then this bit, just like this, is just decorative, just so it kind of looks like that one that I'm using as inspiration. Okay, so that's now dry. Now everything I'm doing next is all optional. You might want to do yours completely different, but I'm going to grab my handle and I'm going to use ribbon and I'm going to just stick it in this part. This is going to be sandwiched between here. Okay, now when this glue dries, it dries rock hard, so I know that that's going to hold. And then you just want to decide how long you want your handle to be. Think about there. Okay, whilst that's drying, I've also popped my glue gun on because for good measure, I'm going to pop some hot glue in between it. But now I've just die cut 4 of these 1-inch circles. I've die cut 2 in the same blue, doesn't matter if you don't have the same colour, stuck them on top of each other, and then in silver. So there's 3 layers there, so they're quite strong discs. And then I've punched a hole through the middle. Punched it through the middle on one of them, and then just sit that over the top of the next one and punch through, and so on. That way you get them all in the same place. This is all now just decorative. I've got some brads here, or split pins, and I'm going to just pop them through the middle, and it's just a nice decorative feature. And this is going to stick. Actually, what I'll do is I'll punch a hole through this front one as well. So I'm going to sit one of these within this section here. And I'm just going to grab a pencil and just pop a pencil mark there. I don't need to do this on the other one. I'm not going through both because I don't want you to see the back of the pin. This is all going to be hidden inside. So just there and there, like so. And now I can pop that through there and through there. I was doing a bit wonky with that one, like so. And again, pop it through that one. Okay, so we've got that effect. I'm going to do the same with the back. If you want to add this kind of scored piece on this piece on the back, you can, but I'm just going to use these ones now. I think I'm not going to pierce through because I don't want there to be metal, like gluing 2 bits of metal together. So I'm just going to use hot glue to pop those ones in place. Again, purely decorative, but you can see how they look on the back there. And there's that one. And flip this back over. And now you're going to stick these right on top of there. You only really want to put your glue up to, so it's in line with this cut piece here. Just pop a blob of hot glue there and just do one at a time. So let's just get that one lined up. Keep it all nice and lined up with the side of your bag here. Don't want any glue coming out the side. Again, you don't have to use hot glue. If you want to use the Kalau, it will work fine. You just have to hold it in place. I just put a little peg there. And then again, mainly covering the ribbon, because then that will spread out and cover the rest. So just again, you've got a little bit of wiggle time even with the hot glue. That's now, they're really strong, those handles. They're definitely not going to be coming off. You can put something quite heavy in there and that will hold it. So now, because you've got that score line on the back, when you open it, you'll have a hinge. But you also now just thought, because it's the first time I'm doing this, we do want to add glue and stick that onto there. So you do want to add glue in there. So I'm going to use my Kalau now. So I'm just running it just all along this part here. So if you close it like so, you can see there, you can just pinch that together like so. And if this isn't lining up, then you can trim this. You can easily go in there with a pair of scissors or use a cutting knife and a ruler. Okay, then I've got my Velcro dots. I've only got my black ones now, so I need to order some more. But you should now be able to fold this bit right back, so it goes right back on itself. That's how you get in the bag. So I'm just going to pop, this kind of goes anyway because you've got the darker colour in the paper. I'm just going to pop that one down there. Because you've folded in the side, you should be able to push down on there. And then with this bow, I'm just going to pop it. I always like to let it just kind of cool a little bit. And then just kind of let it grip first, or just touch it, and then just as it starts to cool, then push it down, and that way you won't get the glue oozing out everywhere. So once it's almost like it's dry or cooled, and then you can push down. You can see I haven't got any glue oozing out anywhere. Like so. I think I'm just going to tidy up this side. So now we've got our pretty bow. I think that finishes it off perfectly. You can add a tag there. If you want, you could put bows here, personalise it like I did with the one where I wrote mum on it. Again, I would have linked that one before. You could still fold this flat now if you wanted to. I'll do it and show you. If you don't, I do show you how to make fold flat gift bags and I have a whole playlist. But if you ever have made something and you think, oh, I wish I hadn't stuck the base down because I'd like to be able to store it. Where I've scored down, it was to 7 inches, where the bottom of that score line is. Ignore that other one there. If you put your finger, push your finger into that and put your index finger on the back, if you just kind of squeeze down to there and then push the front away from you, you see what starts to happen is it goes back on itself. And because this is quite a soft cardstock, now I've made that as a fold flat bag. So I know I said at the beginning, don't stick it down if you want to, you know, store it. But can you see now you've got a perfect fold flat, and that will easily pop open. That's how I show you how to make these, and you will score all of this. But sometimes if it's quite a soft card, you can just fold it like so. And that's how they are in the shops when you buy your, you know, pre-made gift bags. But now I can store that away really easily. You know, it's quite a flat bag. This is the inspiration again, and I think it's turned out really well. It was mainly this that got me, you know, that kind of drew me into this bag. And that's, you can see the back here, you know, and then the discs and the kind of longer part of the front. I mean, you could add another bit of card here and do something a bit more decorative if you want to, but I always like to show you the basic, and then you can obviously add anything more that you want to it. I'll link as much as I can in the description box below, and I'll be back again next week with another fun gift bag tutorial. Thanks for watching. Bye.